and welcome back to PRATHAM Test Prep YouTube channel. So here we are back with another round of Boost Your Vocabulary session, and let us start with it. Alright, so today we are going to cover certain idioms, and the first one is in for a penny, in for a pound. Now, whenever we are talking about someone who is intentionally investing his time or money for a particular project or task, we use this particular idiom or phrase, you could say, in such a case. For example, when Tesla was booming, Elon was in for a penny and in for a pound. That's how much dedicated he was. So, when you have that zeal in you to give your 100% related to some amount of work or any kind of work that you're doing, whether it is in terms of money, whether it in terms of your time, your effort, that is when we may say that we are using this particular idiom. It's a quite interesting one to use, right? Let's have a look at the second one. Okay, so the next one is a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. Now, generally, what happens is when you really have something good with you, right, and you see something a little better, so you try to run away after the better thing and you end up losing what you currently have in your hand. So, we use this particular idiom in such cases, right? Have a look at the meaning. An opportunity in hand currently is better than a prospect in the future because time never repeats itself. And also look at the sentence usage in this case. The detective apprehended three criminals and saw another one running but didn't chase him because she knew a bird in one hand is better than two in the bush. So the detective had caught three criminals and she saw the fourth one is running away. But what did she do? She did not leave the three because she knew that if she goes after the fourth one, she might just end up losing out the three that she has already caught, right? So because of that reason, she did not go after the fourth one, sorry, and that is exactly when we use this particular idiom that what you have in your hand is better rather than losing it for something that you feel is going to be a better opportunity. Let's have a look to the next one. Okay, chip off the old block. So this is one particular idiom that I would say is kind of important from your exam point of view because it kind of appears a lot of times in different test series and different exams, right? On and off. So, a person who is very similar in behavior or actions like his parents, right? So, when you look at someone and you feel that person is like a twin copy of his or her parent, that is precisely when we use this particular idiom. Now, earlier when this idiom started coming in use, we generally used to refer it for someone who resembles his or her father, right? But over a period of time, we have kind of taken it as a common thing, whether it is either of the parents, mother or father. Look at the sentence. When grandfather saw his grandson collecting stamps like his son used to do, he knew he was a chip of the old block. So when the grandfather saw that his grandson has certain habit that belongs to actually his son, he knew that this grandson was a chip of the old block. He resembled his father in certain actions. In this case, that is of collecting stamps. So important to give. Please make sure that you mark this. Next one. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I believe there's this one little phrase that you all have probably heard n number of times and even use it from time to time, and that one is tit for tat, right? So when someone treats you in a certain way and you treat the person exactly in the same manner, right? That is tit for tat. Now, whether that is good behavior or that is bad, that's different, but we are saying exactly the same thing. I felt Clark was a little cold today towards that homeless man. He should do unto others as he would have them do unto him, because who knows about time. So we are talking about this man or this guy named Clark, right? Who was extremely rude, who was very cold towards a homeless man, and then probably his friends or someone is commenting that he should not be doing like this because someone else someday might behave with him in a certain way and he might not like it. So, in the same way, you know how we say that if you really want someone to respect you, first you have to give that respect to that person, and only then you will be respected in return. Right? So, you have to be that polite and humble to others if you want them to behave with you exactly in the same way. The next one is up a creek without a paddle. Now, if you look at the particular picture, right? So, this man is sitting in a boat and then you have this row, right? This oar that he's trying to row the boat with, and then he realizes that the oar, sorry, is broken, right? Now, when you are in an unlucky situation, when you're in a situation when nothing seems like goes as if it was planned, right? You feel absolutely hopeless. You feel that everything is kind of working against you, all the odds are set against you. That is when we can use this particular idiom that you're up a creek without a paddle. Have a look at the sentence. Danny tried to dine and dash yesterday at a Chinese place, but he was stopped by the waiters. Guess he was up a creek without a paddle yesterday. Now, in this particular case, what we're trying to express to be here is that Danny wanted to probably dine in a Chinese restaurant, and when he went there, the waiters probably did not allow him. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have experienced this firsthand, but a lot of times this happens. And when you go to a really premium restaurant, they have a certain dress code, and especially for the men. So if you're wearing a pair of shorts, they may not allow you to, enter and have food over there because they would want you to probably at least be in a pair of jeans or in a full sleeves lowers, at least like full length lowers. So that is something you have to be a little particular about. So probably he went there and it was an unlucky situation because he was not allowed to enter the restaurant and dine in over there. Let's have a look at the next one. All right, so the next one is snug as a bug in a rug. Now, I'm sure we all have heard about bed bugs, right? So, similarly, sometimes our blankets or rugs also end up having certain bugs, right? And they're like deeply enrooted into it. So, they don't really, you obviously cannot see them with your naked eye. Now, somebody who's extremely warm and cozy, especially now that the winter weather is going to change and winters are going to come, and how very, very cold winter days, we don't really feel like getting out of our blankets because you're absolutely warm and cozy. That feeling which you have is called being as snug as a bug in a rug. So it sounds like a tongue twister, very fun to pronounce, right? Have a look at the sentence. The baby looks as snug as a bug in a rug next to its mother. Now, I know that you people probably be wondering why we have used the pronoun it for the baby. Now, generally, what is acceptable is if the word is written something like baby boy, you may use his, like male pronouns. If it's baby girl, you can use her. But if only and only the word baby is written, we do not use any other pronoun. We only and only use the pronoun it's. Now, this may come as a surprise for some of you, but the thing is that over a period of time, we kind of have been debating over this that it's a human being and we should not really use it as a pronoun. But till then, no real rule has come out, right? No justification is there whether we should or shouldn't. So, till the time we do not have a conclusion to that so called debate, you would have to use its. And even in your exams, if you're using some other pronoun for the word baby instead of its, it will actually be considered to be incorrect. So, important point, please make note of this. All right, Pennywise and Pound Foolish. Now, I'm sure you guys are probably at a certain age where your parents really want you to be serious about your careers now that you're in grade 11 and 12. And, you would have to choose a college and a career for yourself. So, one thing that they always obviously want you to understand is that you need to set your priorities straight, right? At this age, your career should obviously be your number one priority. Whether that you want to build in sports or any other education field, that's a different story altogether. But your career, at the end of the day, technically should be your priority. So, when you're very, very careful and very particular about things that do not really matter much, but you are very laid back in things that matter a lot, that is when exactly we end up using this particular idiom. So, penny wise and pound foolish means that you're giving a lot of importance to trivial matters, but you are wasteful, extravagant in large matters, something that actually requires more amount of attention. You don't give that attention to it. That man eats ramen noodles daily for dinner, but for his dog, he threw a big party. He's indeed penny wise and pound foolish. So there's this person who probably does not have enough money, right, to afford a square meal for himself on an everyday basis. So he ends up eating just random noodles every single day in all the meals, probably. And when it comes to his dog, he is actually throwing a really big party for the dog. Probably it's the dog's birthday or something like that. So that is when you say you are penny wise and pound foolish. So you are focusing a lot on matters that are trivial, that are silly, and not on matters that actually require that importance because they are that serious. Moving forward to the next one, put something on ice. To put something on hold. Now, if you think it like that, let's say you bought an ice cream and you come home and you see it's kind of melting, right? And you want it to kind of get back into its real shape, what do you end up doing? You put that into your freezer. So, when you put something on hold, when you put something on ice, you're making it stop, right? So, as per the boss's order, Michael has put his personal matters on ice. Now, this means that probably Michael was really disturbed and was going through something in his personal life, and maybe his work was getting affected because of that. So, what did the boss order? The boss ordered that Michael should put his personal matters on ice. He should just put a full stop over there and focus on things that at that point of time are probably more significant or more necessary to be looked after or more important. So, when you put something on ice, again, as I said, you are putting something on ice, you are putting something on hold. And this may not always be permanently, it could be temporary also. The next idiom is a swan song. Now, this is kind of interesting idiom with a little bit of alliteration in it, right? The last piece of work of an artist before his or her death. Now, when an artist does some, if it's a singer, then if the artist is a singer, then he might have this last movie in which he has sung, or last song, you could say. If it's a painter, he might have his last piece of painting that he has made before that painter died, right? So, similarly, the design was Kate Spade's Swan song. So, Kate Spade is a designer, and in a way, the brand or the designer is really famous for the handbags that she used to make. I think this is like 2, 3 years back, probably. I'm not sure the exact date when she actually ended up committing suicide. And you know how it said that. So the last designs that she had made are considered to be his or her, sorry, Swan song. So the last piece of work by an artist will be the Swan song of that particular artist. Next one is wear your heart on your sleeve. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are actually Shakespeare fans, but Shakespeare had written this play named Othello. And in case you have read this book or the play, basically, you would realize that this idiom was actually used over there for Othello, who was extremely brave in expressing his love for Desdemona. So, when you have the courage within you to express your real feelings, your deepest emotions openly, that is when it is called that you wear your heart on your sleeve, right? Now, obviously, in today's world, people definitely take advantage of it, but to be able to do that, it's really tough and in a way should be praised. When you're expressing yourself too openly, that is what this idiom is all about. Have a look at this sentence. She wears her heart on her sleeve and often gets hurt. Clearly, right? Because she's expressing herself very openly. She is talking about her deepest, maybe feelings, emotions, and probably fears also, right? So she ends up getting hurt because people obviously end up taking advantage of it. We are living in the 21st century. Well, that's all for today's video, and this will be the last idiom. I'm going to see you probably in the next session, right? Till then, take care, and please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, do not forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.